to get Gulf nation dogs to be on board with Israel's brutal occupation and turn a blind eye.
Morocco.
Absolutely zero to do with fucking Palestine.
Shortly thereafter. These agreements mark historic progress toward peace in decades and appeared to open a new era of diplomacy in the Middle East. Today, though, the optimism we felt just a little less than a year ago has been replaced with more violence and more destruction than we've seen in years, and civilian casualties that continue to climb every day.
Of course, Palestine wasn't at the table. The agreement was about getting Israel to turn a blind, getting Gulf nations to turn a blind eye to Israel's occupation, dude.
Support and funding that made it possible, the death toll would be significantly higher than it is.
Toastman, dude, you literally don't know what you're talking about.
State under attack by
Israel is just responding to Hamas. Oh my God, dude, you fucking, hey, I love being that chatter. I gotta pause for a second. That chatter literally is like, here's a fucking thing that this guy who has been speaking to 45,000 people for the past couple of hours had not recognized yet. I'm gonna fucking own him, dude. Thanks, brother. I had not considered that. Thank you.
Colleagues on the other side of the aisle have called into question Israel's right to defend itself. They've acted as though there is some moral equivalency between the terrorist acts of Hamas and Israel's right to defend itself. They've called on the president to speak out against the conduct of Israel, but not Hamas. It's as though they think that Israel is somehow a terrorist group, not the other way around. As I said, Hamas has launched thousands of rockets specifically headed toward civilian targets in Israel. The moral equivalency argument between Hamas's attack and Israel's response is clearly divorced from any reality. Let's be clear, though, this conflict is not a welcome development for anyone. The Israeli and the Palestinian people are bearing the cost of the conflict that they had no hand in creating. It's important to remember that two things can be true. First, that Israel has a right to defend itself. If Hamas or any other terrorist group or state launches an attack on Israel, its government has both the right and the responsibility to respond and protect its citizens. And secondly, the number of civilian casualties on both sides, particularly the number of children, is heartbreaking. Both of those things are true.
Who's killing more, dude?
The violence and destruction we're seeing is devastating.
This is the most indecent piece of shit that Americans do, where they talk about the violence and they talk about the casualty count to make it seem like it's not nearly entirely Palestinian kids. Like, that's fucking crazy, dude. I think it's like, what, 13 or 15 Israelis have died so far? Nearly 300 Palestinians, dude. That's fucking crazy, dude. That's crazy to be like, oh man, it's like, he's making it seem like it's a 50-50, dude.
Populations in Israel. The only democracy in the Middle East being attacked by a terrorist organization, and the diplomatic strategy of the free world includes remaining quiet. I'm reminded of President Obama's statement, bizarre now in retrospect, talking about leading from behind, an oxymoronic doctrine which gave way to disastrous, albeit predictable, consequences in Libya. We continue to see the dire costs of poor American leadership in other foreign countries, in Yemen, in Iraq, Syria, Ukraine. Leading from behind has done nothing but harm the cause of peace. I hope this serves as a wake-up call for President Biden of the dangers of a similar quest. Quiet and intensive diplomacy is not the appropriate course when one of our closest allies in the world is being attacked by an internationally recognized terrorist.
What do you want, John Cornyn? Do you want to grab an AK and start murdering Palestinian kids yourself, dude? What the fuck do you want? What more do you motherfuckers want, dude? I will never understand. It's like, bro, he literally sold $735 million worth of weapons, dude. What more could Joe Biden do? Do you want him to execute a Palestinian child on camera? Is that going to be it? Is that when John Corbin is going to be like, all right, you know, the execution was a little flawed. I could see that he had a hesitation on his hand. As he slit the throats of Palestinian children? Like, is that what it is?
Iran stood to lose the most from the peace agreements brokered last year.
These people are psychos, dude.
They were largely responsible. The threat of Iran was largely responsible for these countries to come together and to lay down their arms and to work together. The Biden administration has made clear it intends to recklessly revive the Iran deal while loosening the sanctions that would provide the U.S. leverage.
Literally, the only country that doesn't want the Iran deal is Israel, and that's why it's being fucking abolished.
Target Iran's support for terrorist groups like Hamas.
It's fucking bullshit. I just want you to understand
development that human rights
the only reason why Obama's signature foreign policy accomplishment has not been revived is because of Israel.
Unilaterally is a grave mistake. Simply by signaling their intent, the Biden administration has already emboldened and encouraged Iran's malign activities through its proxy, Hamas, Hezbollah, and others. This current loss of life and destruction demonstrates that Iran is capable of wielding deadly force even with lean resources. Fewer sanctions, though, have meant less cash flowing to their terrorist proxies. This week, we're reminded of the saying that's been around for years that if Hamas laid down its weapons today, there would be no more violence. If Israel laid down its weapons, there would be no more Israel.
Dude, that is such fucking dog shit, dude. So did the occupation end during the fucking ceasefire since 2014? I'm confused. Did Israeli soldiers stop beating the shit and brutalizing Palestinian people? No.
I hope for a day in the future when the Middle East can be a place of peace.
I hate these scum fuckers, dude.
And democracy. But we
That's
simply will
Nazi
not
shit,
reach
dude.
that
It's
point
literally like
without a strong
Palestinian
and secure
existence is a threat
Israel.
to our existence is the same bullshit that the Nazis fucking advocated for in their idiotic fatherland bullshit, okay?
The United States does not bow down to terrorist organizations, and we will not allow our allies to be bullied and beaten by Hamas or any other terrorist group.
I hate these pieces of shit.
Mr. President, on one final matter, we know the Endless Futures legislation, which is on the floor today, is part of our response to the competition caused by an increasingly belligerent and aggressive China. And I'm glad the Senate has taken up its consideration of this legislation. In coming days, I expect both sides to offer amendments to strengthen this legislation and to assure that it addresses a broad range of strategic threats. As Leader McConnell has said, a robust amendment process is critical to the success of this legislation.
Why is it anti-Semitic to say Israel's a fascist state? It's not. Anyone who tells you that is a fucking liar.
To bolster our domestic semiconductor manufacturing, which will be addressed and is addressed by the underlying bill. We rely on these microelectronic circuits or semiconductors for everything from our telephones
it's insane.
that we have in our pockets, to the cars in our driveways, to the missile defense systems that are right now knocking down Hamas rockets, raining down over Israel. Over the past couple of decades, as our need for semiconductors has increased, as we have become more technology-centric, so is our dependence on the countries that produce those semiconductors. Here is a graphic reminder of our dependency on foreign supply chains in order to supply these critical semiconductors that are so important to our economy and to our national security. As you can see, Mr. President, 63%
What?
of the global market supply of semiconductors comes from Taiwan.
Taiwan number one.
18% comes from South Korea. 6% from China. But nearly 90% of chips are sourced from Southeast Asia. As we learned in the pandemic called COVID-19, vulnerable supply chains are something we need to be aware of.
What's this got to do with fucking Israel, bro?
I'm reminded of what President Jimmy Carter said in 1980 in the State of the Union message when he spoke about the Persian Gulf and Soviet threats to the movement of essential energy supplies through the Strait of Hormuz. President Carter, at that time, articulated the Carter Doctrine as it came to be known. He said any attempt by any outside force to gain control of the Persian Gulf region will be regarded as an assault on the vital interests of the United States of America. In other words, it would be an act of war because of the dramatic dependence that the United States had at that time on oil flowing through the Strait of Hormuz. But I think you could consider today that semiconductors are the new oil. Instead of the Strait of Hormuz, we are now dependent on a supply chain from parts of the world we can no longer depend upon. Just as a blockade would have left the world with devastating consequences, a blockade of the semiconductor supply chain would have far-reaching negative consequences to our national security and economy.
Keep on keeping on.
In fact, we're getting a glimpse of what that might look like right now. There's a global semiconductor shortage that's largely related to COVID-19 and has led to far-reaching consequences across virtually every industry. In Texas a couple of weeks ago, I met with executives from companies across the range of industries that have been impacted by the shortage of semiconductors, including automotive, consumer electronics, and defense. So we need a strong response to restore domestic semiconductor manufacturing, which is why last year Senator Warner, the senator from Virginia, and I introduced what we call the Chips for America.
Yeah, I'm not watching this guy say semiconductors.
What about the lumber shortage?
Semiconductors
Feels
over
bad
and
now.
over again, okay? That's the fucking freak. That's all I learned from that graphic is Taiwan number one, China not even number two, okay? That's all I learned. Semiconductor.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew Yang. I'm running for mayor of New York City, and my laugh sounds like it's escaping from my body. I love poor people so
That's pretty good.
much. My UBI plan is giving a few poor people $2,000 a year. That's $167 a month, which is some amount of rent. Math. $167 is also
Bro, why is he so good? Oh my god. Fucking nailed it, dude.
enough for a monthly Metro card. Like other real New Yorkers, I know how important a Metro card is. I love using my Metro card to go to my favorite place in the city, Times Square. You even have some money left over for a classic New York City snack. Boiled eggs from CVS and maybe some churros from a subway station. Wait, I'm arresting unlicensed street vendors. Never mind, no more churros. It's time for fresh, bold ideas. And what is bolder than seeing the George Floyd protest last summer and thinking, let's give the NYPD more money? If you knew New York City as well as I did as a Columbia law student, you'd know corporations have been through a lot during the pandemic. Just the other day, I was on the number 2 Blue train going north to Houston Street, and I saw a video of someone stealing a granola bar from an Amazon Go store. Amazon is on your side. They love poor people. They cycle through so many of them per year.
Houston
And they
Street.
don't give their employees bathroom breaks because As real New Yorkers, we know the bathrooms in New York City are gross. Anyone who says I don't care about poor people is not stating the facts. I care about poor people so much. Some of my friends are only millionaires. That joke was written by the people running my campaign, Tusk Industries, a lobbying firm that works for tech companies that care about workers, like Uber. Humanity.
Bro, this is so good.
F is
That
for
was-
friends who do stuff together.
Motherfucker
USB
nailed
and
it,
me, N is
dude.
for anywhere, anywhere at all down here in the deep blue sea.
This dude's funny as fuck. Absolutely fucking nailed it, dude.
Yo, yo, yo, 5 months.
Absolutely nailed it. That was great. The laughter got me. The laughter was so perfect. Oh, like I can't do it, but that's exactly how he laughs, dude. You want me to watch this? I got in a Mecca video.
Time to go to Mecca.
Obeyed. Fox. Listen, you need a little bit of holiness in your life.
We've arrived in Mecca. You can see the clock tower is back there, but the only way to get to the mosque is...
Okay, this dude is like, this kid is like, he's Arabic, right? Like 100%, because the way he's speaking, like his B's are so fucking Arabic. I said, dude, he's like fucking 12, but like straight up, like...
With a taxi.
We're going to Mecca, bro.
We're here, but from this angle.
Damn, bro, he's got fucking... He's like, he's doing... Look at those transitions,
From
dude.
this angle, it's
Little man's got fucking good-ass transitions.
really hard to see how big it actually is. I looked it up and it's actually 360,000.
Okay, well then living in fucking Saudi Arabia has changed his accent dramatically because you can fucking hear the bees in the way he's talking sometimes.
Meters squared, which makes it the second biggest building in the world. There are also lots and lots and lots of people. And when people do
Show us the rock! My brother, show us the rock!
at Mecca, the main thing they always want to see is, of course, the Kaaba. The Kaaba itself was built around 4,200 years ago by Prophet Abraham. It's so hard to film here because it's just so packed and bumpy with so many people. But we haven't come here just to
Mashallah,
see
mashallah.
the Kaaba. We've also come to do Umrah. Right now we're on part
Bro,
one.
how the fuck did this kid get into... If he's not Muslim, like... Or I guess he's an expat in Saudi Arabia? Bro, this kid is holier than like 98%. This kid's a better fucking Muslim. This kid's a better Muslim than like 98% of my chat right now that are like Muslims. This dude is literally doing like the holy pilgrimage right now in front of our fucking eyes.
One of Umrah, which is walking 7 times
He is a better Muslim than I will ever be for the rest of my life. It is
around the Kaaba.
100%.
We're on our 5th lap out of 7.
Okay, what's with the call out? Know your place, my friend. Allah looks down upon you and sees that you are committing haram every day. You must do your
That's
umrah.
6 out of 7. That's lap 7 out of 7. We just finished our 7th, so now we're moving on to stage 2. Part 2 is walking.
Have you... Allah asks, have you prayed 5 times a day today? Have you prayed 5 times today, my friend? No? Astaghfirullah.
7 times between the two mountains, Safa and Marwa, which are located inside the mosque.
IRL stream in Mecca when? Zemzem water is for drinking only. Zemzem suyu.
That water I was drinking is from a spring called Zamzam that has been giving the people of Mecca water for thousands of years. And that's one of the reasons the people settled in Mecca, because there was a readily available source of water.
Yeah, this is literally a Jannah this is a Jannah tutorial. Like my man is in the intro mission to finally get to heaven. Oh man, you guys are so lucky that you're seeing this firsthand. Türkçe yayın yap amına koyayım. Ah siktir lan. Anana Türkçe yayın yapayım. Göt lalesi. Assassin's Creed 28. Bro, this stream just got significantly more halal. Like, it's crazy. Is heaven called heaven in Islam? Jannat or Jannah. In English, I think. Or in Arabic.
We've done it 6 times,
Jannat.
and this is our final 7th.
Do you know how to pray or Surat al-Fatiha? I know how to say like Fatiha, but Fatiha surasi to recite it, but I don't know how to fucking pray, dude. What are you, crazy? Bro, I am literally the worst Muslim on the planet. Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? Look at me, bro. I dated porn stars, okay? Like, you think that I'm like a good Muslim? You're out of your fucking mind. Anytime I make jokes about this shit, that is all that it is, okay? Jokes. I love Muslim memes, okay? But that's the extent of my fucking knowledge and shit like that. Weird flex, and it's not okay. Tekrar et lan elhamdülillahi rabbil alemin. El-Rahman Rahim. Yeah, dude. Listen, I have hella fucking Islam points. You want to know why? Because one time there was 30,000 people watching, and I made all of them recite the şahadet geçirmek değil mi? Ne oluyor? Kelime-i şahadet değil mi? I made them all recite the verse that you have to say to become Muslim. Yeah. So I have so much more Muslim points with Allah than all of you, dude. Yeah. 30,000 new converts, dude, with one fucking move like that. So I'm just, I got the Muslim credit score to back it. Okay? So I'm just eating away from the bank right now.
We're done. Ooh, that's tiring. Not the walking, by the way, holding up this gimbal.
Sevaba gidiyorsun. Bakma 40.000 kişiye İslam'ı tanıtıyorsun. Sevap işte, aynen.
So now that we've walked between the two mountains 7 times, we're going on to the final and definitely the easiest stage. Stage 3, final stage, which is just to get a haircut.
The one issue I do have with these hairdressers is well, they're a bit grim.
But still, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
They're a bit green, bruv.
Percent as a half-Palestinian, I can't even explain how much it means to me that you are educating people on what is happening in Palestine and Israel. Keep up the great work, Hasta.
So now I've finished my haircut, which means I've finished my Umrah, and consequently, I've also finished my Mecca video.
Yeah, most of you fucking little Brit Zoomers are like, oi, bruv, we're gonna do a fucking Fortnite dance. Meanwhile, this guy is literally getting closer to Jannah, dude. What the fuck? Shame on you fucking little Brit Zoomers, dude. Look at that. Mashallah, bruv. Oi. You fucking what, mate? Dude, I've talked about converts before, or reverts, according to Islam. But reverts, they're like born-again Christians. It freaks me out a little bit.
You are actually very popular here. Big fan love from Yerevan.
Wait, really? That's crazy. Why does that read like a threat, dude? Half the time. Actually, that makes sense that I'm popular in Armenia, and yet for some reason, like random white Americans will be like, you love Armenian genocide. It's like, no, I don't. Like, all the Shahabas were reverts. It's just like, yeah, he's closer to enlightenment. İngilizcen çok iyi değil ama seni çok seviyorum. Eyvallah kardeş. Hasan's Allah credit score? No, it's not 704. You just called reverts creepy to 42,000 people. Allah credit score demolished. I just think that they're really into it, okay? And it freaks me out when someone's like really, really into religion. And, you know, no disrespect, but a lot of reverts are like just mega into it, okay? There's too into it. The longest border on the fence of border fence on Earth, and isn't meant for humans.
Hey, before the video starts, I want to say thank you to Storyblock downloads.
God damn it, Johnny.
Learn more about this initiative called Restock, as well as go so that link helps also this stuff. So see ya.
All right, Johnny, let's see. Johnny, when will you go to Mecca and Medina, my friend? You talk here every day. You talk every day. When will you go? Shaitan.
Him trying my best.
Johnny, when will you revert? My friend, Allah awaits you. All you do is sponsorships.
Today is not between India and Pakistan, or US and Mexico, or Syria and Turkey. Those are all very big, scary, long fences. But no, the longest border fence on Earth looks...
You guys got dog shit done out. Our shawarma is better. You take kofta though, it's so good. Shut the fuck up, dude. You're fucking crazy. Donut is the most OP form of that like kind of meat consumption. I like shawarmas too, don't get me wrong, but donut is literally the best. Like, straight the fuck up, dude. Straight the fuck up. Donut number one, nothing is even number two. Okay? At least we can all agree that heroes or gyros or whatever the fuck the Greeks call it is like literally bottom of the barrel, underneath the fucking scale. Straight up. I will get so nationalist when it comes to donut, dude. Oh my god. Oof, lahmacun. Oof. Oh my god. Okay, we're done.
like this.
Especially Berlin doner. Will admit, Turks in Germany make probably pound for pound better doner than Turks in Turkey do. I'll even admit that. I will allow that. As someone who's had both, straight up, Germans know how to fucking make doner, bro. It is crazy. They've got it down to an art. LMAO, you get killed for this. Like, the best doner place in Turkey is better than the best doner place in Germany, but a lot of German doner places, including like Mustafa's Gemüse Doner and places like that are like very famous fucking doner places in Germany, they have that shit on lock. I don't know how to describe it. It's like OP. It's crazy.
It's 5,600 kilometers long. That's like if you were to draw a border across the whole United States from LA to New York and then add another 1,000 miles. And this border fence doesn't even separate two countries. Instead, this fence stretches across some of the most remote territory on Earth. It goes through farmlands, deserts, across mountain ranges. But unlike most physical barriers that we use to divide countries, to keep people out, this long-ass border was built to keep out one very specific thing: dingoes.
We're here in southeast Queensland, and this is the start of the dingo fence. Now, the dingo fence was established in the 80s.
Wait, to stop them from eating your fucking babies? Is that why? Is that why there's a fucking dingo fence? Because they're eating all fucking... A dingo ate my baby.
Okay, can we just say something right up front? Do we all agree that Australia is pretty wild and like a pretty unique place? There's a reason for this. Back when all of this was happening, All of these continents were still attached to one another. But down here, Australia jumped the gun on the whole breaking apart thing, and it broke off from all the other land way earlier than the others.
Bye, bitch.
Because of this, all the plants and animals on the Australian piece of land evolved in isolation for a really long time, far away from anything else. When we talk about the 7 continents, it's like North America, Asia, Africa, and then Australia. Like, it's a country, but it's basically its own continent. This isolation resulted in
Wait, is that why you guys got fucking super emus? Is that why you lost the fucking battle to the fucking emus? You lost to a fucking emu. Lost to a fucking bed.
90% of the wildlife in Australia being wholly unique to the continent. It doesn't exist anywhere else.
It's been a while since I've targeted Australians so aggressively. And I think, like, it's time. You know what I mean? They got way too comfortable in the community thinking, like, huh, oh, look at these fucking bloke making fun of the fucking Irish. Ha! It's pretty good, bruv. You know what I mean? You Aussies, you think, like, oh, yeah, come to Australia, mate. About fucking time. Worst accent? No, it's not. It's so good. You're such a liar, dude.
And it stayed this way for a very long time until, of course, these guys showed up.
I refuse to believe that my Australian accent is bad. Like, I just refuse to believe
Another
it.
story of these guys. It's always these guys showing up from Europe. So the year is 1770, and humans have been living on Australia for like 70,000 years. But despite this, you get this guy who shows up and, quote, claims possession of the east coast of Australia for the British Crown. Soon,
He's fucking guy, not a good guy,
go
bro.
to Australia to set up their own colony. And this is where the whole pristine, unique ecosystem thing kind of starts to fall apart. So in addition to what these British people did to the native people who were living there for 70,000 years,
massacres as systematic as those practiced against the Jews in the 20th century.
The other thing the Europeans did when they arrived here was they brought all sorts of plants and animals and a desire to do farming, all the agriculture stuff that they had been doing back in Europe. Meanwhile, Australia's 120-year-old ecosystem is like, ugh, like SMH. Like, we had perfectly balanced our ecology.
Okay, that was literally a fucking opportunity for him to say, WTF, mate! And he didn't fucking use that. That's bullshit. That's... WTF, mate? What the fuck are you doing, mate? Okay, that's...
And these guys are bringing camels? They also start growing a ton of non-native plants like sugar. And when they started growing sugar, there was one native species in Australia that was very excited. That native species looked like this. It's a grayback beetle who was stoked about the fact that these British people were growing sugarcane. So they just started to feast on all these sugar farms. So now the Europeans, now independent Australians, instead of being like, hey, maybe we shouldn't grow sugar here because every time we grow it, it gets infested by these beetles. Instead, they're like, let's go to Hawaii and get a bunch of frogs. The idea is that the frogs would eat the beetles and then the beetles would go away, right? But no, the frogs, or the cane toads specifically, had no natural predator in Australia, so they just exploded in their numbers, and they became a pest in and of themselves.
Hey, look! Those frogs are eating all their crops!
Okay, one more example here that I have to tell you about before I get back to the border fence. One more, because I can't not talk about this.
Why is their fucking form of pest control literally the dumbest way that you can do pest control, dude? It's like the Dale Gribble episode when he goes to Megalomart and has to fucking find the rat infestation and realizes that saxophone guy is like living in Megalomart. He's like, yeah, that's why I put out the rats. And then also I put out separately a raccoon. Fucking.
So back in 1932, emus, these like big giant weird birds,
I think I
and
ate
so
poison
the
ivy
Australian
gel.
government sent out the Australian
Oh no, the
Army,
disrespect. Oh no.
thousands
Oh
of
no. Johnny Harris is about to do disrespect to the entire continent, dude. Oh no. How the fuck will the Australians recover from this, dude? It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, he's covering the emu war, dude. The great emu wars. Lost the fucking flightless birds, bro. We lost the fucking flightless birds. Emus.
rounds of ammunition to fight these emus.
Yeah, the only thing you got, the only defense Australians have, now need to talk shit as an Australian. I'm going to go to the doctors for free today. I don't even have to use my easy to acquire welfare to get there. The bus is free for me. All right, well, you still lost the fucking emus. Let me have this. This is a fucking American.
And to kill them off so that they could control the population. The best part about the story is that the emus won the war. I need to make a video specifically about the emu wars because it's just too nuts. If you want me to do that, let me know because I want to do that. Okay, so those are all the ways in which the European settlers brought invasive species to this ecologically unique place and sort of started to mess with the balance. One of the big animals that the British brought over when they were settling Australia were these guys, sheep. Sheep have wool and meat and were a big deal in England, and so the Australians were like, why not bring them halfway around the world to Australia and start sheep farming? Sheep farming began spreading all around the country.
Why did the British think like
settled in Australia? But the farmers started to realize that we're not in England anymore.
No, I know we're not in Kansas.
And their sheep were starting to disappear. And it turns out that they were being hunted and eaten by an animal with a very cool name, the dingo. Dingoes are kind of like ancient wild dogs. Man, ancient wild dogs, that should be like a character in an anime film. It probably already is. Dingoes like to eat kangaroos, and in doing so, as per how ecology and natural food systems work, eating the kangaroos keeps the kangaroo population.
Holy shit, they fucking eat kangaroos. How fucking vicious are they, dude?
At bay, and this is very important so that we can avoid this happening too often.
He's getting mad that I'm trying to pet him. Okay, yeah, I'm done.
I'm videotaping.
No, I'm kidding. That's actually not the reason why it's important. It's important to keep the kangaroo population at bay because kangaroos eat vegetation and plants. And if they grow too large as a population, they'll eat all the plants, they'll mess with the food systems for other herbivores and the erosion and the soil content, etc., etc. The whole ecosystem relies on this balance of predator and prey.
We are all connected in the great circle of life.
So the dingoes are...
Are dingoes even dogs? Dogs are apex fucking predators. Dingoes are if you took the average dog and let it live in the wild for a bit. I thought dogs... Wait, that's not even remotely true. No, if you let the average cat out and let it fucking thrive in the wild, it would be incredible. Cats are apex predators. Dogs are literally the dumbest. Like, domesticated dogs are way too fucking docile and way too stupid to survive in the wild. You are straight up wrong. Except for wild dogs who are not fucking like the domesticated dogs that we know and love at all.
Important. But the Europeans didn't like the dingoes because they were showing up to the farms and eating...
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's a dog without 10,000 years of being conditioned to be friendly, it's like basically a fucking wolf.
Their succulent lamb chops. This became a big problem.
But domesticated dogs can't like magically flip a switch and automatically survive in the wild in the same way that cats can, because cats are actual fucking apex predators and dogs are not.
The farmers are like, how am I supposed to like raise my livestock here in this wild country with these dingoes running around eating my sheep? Meanwhile, Australia's 120 million year old ecosystem is like, deal with it, Liam, the sheep farmer. We've been crafting this wild ecosystem for a really long time, and we're not gonna change it just so that you can have your lamb chops. And Liam, the sheep farmer's like, hold my beer. Oh, excuse me, hold my beer. I try not to like, do accents because it's like kind of cliche.
Oh, Johnny! It was fucking worse than anything I could have ever done!
And I can't do accents very well, but...
That was pretty good. Better accent than yours? Better than Hassan? Fuck you! You fucking wackers! I don't know if that's a term that Australians even use. Dude, fuck you guys, dude.
I just love the way Australians
He literally said, hold my B.
There it is.
And thus begins another round of let's outsmart nature. So anyway, they start planning a fence.
You fucking
what if we
can't
cut off like a giant swath of this country so that all of the dingoes stay on that side of the fence and all the sheep farmers could stay on this side of the fence. So they built the fence. It took them 8 years to construct this massive fence, the longest on Earth. And it worked. After they completed this fence, sheep deaths plummeted. And so now the farmers are very happy, and the Australian government is very happy because the farmers are happy. Meanwhile, Australia's 120 million year old ecosystem is not so happy.
Not happy, Jen!
Okay, so remember the kangaroos?
He's getting mad that I'm trying to pet him.
Yeah, so on this side of the fence, there's now no dingoes, which means no one to eat the kangaroos. So the population of kangaroos skyrockets. They start eating all of the grass and vegetation. This overgrazing has left little food for the smaller plant-eating animals, whose population is now declining. And now it's also messed with the natural nutrient cycle of the soil. So now stuff doesn't grow as well in all of these soils. This change in vegetation made it easier for wind to pick up sand and create these giant dunes, which then served as like a wall to redirect the wind patterns, which changes like the weather patterns, etc., etc., etc. You build one fence to protect sheep, and you trigger a ripple effect that throws off a balance in nature that had been literally hundreds of millions of years in the making. But to the humans, it is very worth it because the Australian sheep industry is worth $6.6 billion. The reason I'm making this video, the reason I'm fascinated with this fence, isn't just because it's so long. Yes, I like borders and lines and maps, but I
hate that vegans are right so consistently.
Of this very European, Western, human-centric notion of humans controlling nature. We can engineer our way out of anything. The Western world has helped create this global culture that says that we, the humans, can do whatever we need to serve our needs, whether it's food,
and that's what's more important at the end of the day.
And in the process, we can ignore the needs of every other organism that shares the environment with us. And what we are seeing is that there's a cost to this. Over 1 million different species are set to be extinct in coming decades because of our activity, because we like to build fences to protect our sheep. And what's crazy is that it doesn't totally have to be this way. So much of our modern culture is sort of a blip on the map. Like, we just started this idea of going out and engineering our way out of nature. Remember that before...
How is he right? This is called Darwinism. Humans shape the world. Animals adapt or die. Why are people who always bring up Darwinism the first to die if there was actual Darwinism for humans, at least? Also, like, what you don't recognize is that he's literally talking about the ecological disaster that humans are causing on themselves by changing wind conditions, weather patterns, all this shit. Also, it's literally not Darwinism, but...
The Europeans arrived to Australia, the Aboriginals had been living there for 70,000 years with nature, not in spite of it. They didn't need to manipulate it for their own needs in a way that threw off the balance of these ecosystems. So far, we've been able to engineer our way out of quite a lot of things. But this experiment of breaking away from natural systems is brand new. And we have no idea how much longer the natural world will tolerate it before it really bites back against the humans and puts us in our place. And maybe this is the wake-up call we need to actually start to put into practice what indigenous communities have known forever, which is that the only way for long-term survival.
If you're a fucking fair dinkum fucking full-grown Aussie, this is what you'd have for breakfast, you fucking dog cunts. A fucking VB long neck.
This guy is literally me. Like, my accent is exactly like this guy. And anyone who says that my accent isn't real, my accent isn't like a real fucking Aussie accent, is just coping. Oh, you fucking dog cunts, you fucking coping! What is this? Can I link a TikTok?
Men only have 4 moods. 4 moods.
The most Aussie slang, gronk, cunt, ishays. What the fuck is that?
At 20 to 8 in the fucking morning. Get that up, yeah.
Get that up, yeah.
Survival as a species is if we learn to share this earth instead of trying always to dominate it.
Okay, let's look at this fucking live stream file everybody's been asking me to fucking play this. Is apparently I've been fucking exposed. Where is it? Did they delete it? I haven't seen the video, so I don't even know. Twitch user gets banned by accident twice. Twitch staff doesn't respond for 6 weeks so far. Here, let's see.
Make it bigger. What's the date? 2018? Not 3 years ago, Hassan saying literally my fave channel.
I think I did this on stream, boys. Did I not do this on stream? We did that to test the auto timeout.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I literally did both of these on stream, for the record. Like, not even the Turk Vodma. I'm talking about like the 2018, 3 years ago. Man, 10 people watched you back then. I'm pretty sure in 2018, no way. Yeah. I mean, there's no way to find it now. But I'm pretty sure I did the 2018 one on stream. But I mean, we can keep going with the yeah. I guess I watched it once in 2018 and then never again. Like, yeah, where did this go? Why is this up? Why does this NSFW? I thought it was a well-known fact that Hassan is a Coomer. Well, he did a porn star, so it checks out. Horny guys go to bars and get laid. Coomers jerk off and give money to girls sitting in hot tubs online. Pretty sure Coomer is a play on words of Zoomer and cum. He didn't get away with it. Sad. Hassan's live stream was him and Chad debating which alien he was going to romance in fucking Mass Effect. Nothing was exposed here. Yeah, thank you. This is what I mean. Like, why do people think like I would ever be embarrassed about like I don't know, like cooming to Amaranth or something if I like legitimately coom to Amaranth? Like, why would I ever in a million years? I literally talk about fucking fish, dude. Like 90% of my gaming streams, sorry if Vice is here like watching, but like 90% of my fucking gaming streams revolve around me like running around the water trying to find a fish to fuck. Okay? So Like, why would I ever in a million years be embarrassed to admit if I'm like watching hot tub streamers to just not admit that? Like, why would I not admit that?
Hassan, we know you coom to fish.
So I don't know why people think that this is like actually is a space racist.
4 months of entertainment, Arjan.
So yeah, I find it really funny. I find it really funny that people make it seem like this is an exposure.
Oh, Hassan saying literally my fave channel. Uh-oh. Oh.
Oh, mod time me out.
It's not for him though. Okay.
Oh, she doesn't believe me. She's saying like it is for me. I mean, guys, I like two-dimensional women. Okay,
10 months with this cutie.
it's just 2D women over 3D women. All right, sorry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Maya and anthropomorphizing.
It's a problem called anthropomorphizing when people project their emotions onto animals.
Yes.
It's like, you know, when people are like, "Oh, my dog is mad at me because I left." That's usually not the case. A lot of animals don't have the capacity that we do for emotions. So
this is why she's not a vegan, dude. Oh, vegans malding.
same thing with the frog. This frog, like if you had to live in this enclosure, obviously not a realistic scenario because you couldn't fit, but if you had to be in here your whole life, which he won't be, he'll get a bigger enclosure when he gets bigger, but you'd be miserably depressed, right? But this frog buries himself underground for 10 months out of the year in the wild. They don't need toys and they don't need plants and things to hide under and miles to go. They don't do a whole lot. So this enclosure is actually sufficient for his species and the way he experiences life. I hope that makes sense to you.
You don't know that, Maya? She literally does, dude. Like, what the fuck? No, me, random chatter. No, I know, dude. It's about the environment. What difference does it make if they can feel emotion or not? Which they can. If you care about conservation, you'll do what you can to minimize harm to the environment. Yeah, but I also want to maximize fifis to my tummy, which happens to be eating animals still.
Because I know it's a hard thing to wrap your head around. It's a problem.
Disney ruined it, dude. Hot Tub Meta making its way to BBC News now. One of Twitch's most popular streamers says the site cut her off from ads revenue. That's crazy. Damn, this dude in Africa and I have the same fucking nails. Just kidding. The dude or lady in Africa has better nails than me. My take has always been the moment they make fake meat taste like actual meat, I will 100% switch. But until then, fuck you vegans. I'm eating all the chickies. Okay, that sounds literally like my 100% my take. Also, you're going to make vegans mauled. Why is everybody trying to do a vegan mauled attack? Dr. K gives my typical college major advice.
And all of my friends and my sister are either mechanical engineers, software engineers, electrical engineers, or pre-med.
I feel that, dude.
Or
Very nice. Engineer. Medicine? Wonderful.
Yeah,
So good.
all of them.
If you really want to be try hard, you can do electrical engineering, double major, pre-med.
Yeah.
Or biomed engineering.
Damn, I can't believe the Austin shows. I'm gonna stop. I was gonna make a joke, but I think Austin's in the chat right now, so I'm just not gonna do it.
Actually, yeah, biomed friends
Yeah,
too.
biomed engineering pre-med.
There you go.
That way you can win all of the prizes. It's very good.
That's pretty funny. Force him find someone to bring back Nani.
What is this for girls? What? What the fuck? What the fuck? R2 continually left, L2 continually right, pulsating left, pulsating right. Bro. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry that the existence of veganism makes you self-conscious about eating animals. No, it really doesn't. It's just annoying to constantly have to duke it out with vegans. I'll even say like the vegans are right and vegans still want blood. What is this? Is this like a vibrator game or something? Habibi chat. Also, if Forsen reads the Vivon. Bro, when I found out that there's a Forsen boy in the Gaza Strip, I lost my mind.
Alright, good one, bro. Get me out of here. Alright, fuck.
He has like motherfuckers in the Gaza Strip like doing Zulul memes as like fucking bombs are exploding on top of their heads. You know what I mean? Crazy. Yeah, the Gaza boys, dude. Nikita Sadix, she's just staying away from PP due to haters. Wait, what happened? Wait, this is the character whose voice I love, right?
I'd love to see how me and Pierre work together. Yeah.
Yeah, she is one of my favorite voices in all of RP.
I kind of feel like he's been moving away from the cop stuff, and I wish that he wouldn't give up on it, but I think it was doing him a lot of good. I don't know. I think people made him kind of feel bad about it while he was...
Dog, I'm not gonna watch the fucking Max Blumenthal Gaza documentary, dude. I'm not gonna watch a 1 hour and 36-minute gray zone documentary about Gaza. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do that, especially after I've moved on from fucking news. Like, the fuck is wrong with you people, dude? Some of you are just like, literally like, dude, please, more politics, dude. More politics. It's only 1.5 hours long. Like, why won't you watch this?
He was at Academy. Like, they were being mean to him.
I know Austin is in Hoscourt a lot. He sent me Cussy the other day. Nick gets done by CR7.
No, I just can't. Oh! There's no way! They just watched him do that! Oh my god! There's no way! They just fucking watched him! I hate this
Messi's better, dude.
fucking game, dude! Why do I have to watch his fucking celebrations? Press X! God damn it! No, I just can't.
Messi's better, but we all know LeBron is the best athlete. My streamer feels strong, man.
IL Kilng.
What? The fuck?